I'm on board one of our latest builds. This is a brand new 2026. Wow, time is flying. 47-foot Reaper. One of the key features of this boat that you haven't seen before is our aft lounger. We've been talking about this thing for a while. Lots of requests from the ladies to create more space in the back, and our design team pulled it off. It's super comfortable. As the seat lifts up, you've got bumper storage, rope storage. Really makes the back end of the boat feel bigger. It's also been elevated probably 6 inches off the last seat, so visibility is enhanced. But we're just really proud of the changes that we've made to the back of the boat. It's hard to beat a Reaper, but I think this is a nice addition. Also, the boat has Quint 500Rs. As you can see, we have 3 of them tied up here. They all have Quint 500Rs. It's the motor of choice for this setup. The boat runs approximately 95 miles an hour with a conservative setup. The engines don't bark in rough water. We haven't been slinging prop shafts, breaking propellers. So we've set the boat up to be fast, to plane well, but also to be reliable. As a boat designer, one of the things that's always been in the back of my mind when we did the dual side doors is having a bunch of these boats lined up where you can just walk from boat to boat to boat. And that's a reality now. Today we've got 3 of them tied up together. And it's just, as you can see, super easy when you're with your friends that have Reapers. You just walk from boat to boat. It's good for the kids, good for the family. This boat also has quite a bit of forged carbon. That's something we've been doing for about the last year on all of our builds. It seems like the more we do, the more they want. We've done forged carbon sinks in the bathroom, forged carbon accent panels, forged carbon dashboards, you name it. It seems like at some point we'll probably have a forged carbon boat. So I'm gonna invite my wife, Robin, over here. Robin? I don't think we've been on camera together too much, but this is obviously my more beautiful, better half. I couldn't have done this business without her. As hard as it is to build these boats, well, everybody makes it seem easy, but it's really hard to develop a product like this as a small business. At times when I felt like throwing in the towel, she's gotten behind my big ass and pushed me and said, you can do it. So a lot of the ideas that you see in this boat are us talking as a family, me talking with my wife as a boating family. Hey, what do you think that we need? She had a lot of input on the storage of the boat. The rear lounger was pretty much her idea. She didn't know how to tell me that the first seat was not the best seat, but this is Robin approved.
We'd work together on designs and innovation and figure out different ways to take our dreams and make them a reality together. And one of the things I really felt was lacking in some of our first Reapers was the back lounger seat. Just the ability to be able to accommodate more people in this back area, along with because people tend to congregate in this area because of the coolers and the food and the snacks. And so I really wanted to be able to innovate something new with this beautiful lounger where we could sit and relax and everybody could hang out and have plenty of space. So we came up with this, and I think it turned out really beautiful.
We actually CNC cut styrofoam and had her sit on it in the factory, and she would draw lines and say, no, I want a little bit more angle to the back, a little more room.
It's really complicated when you're, designing things, because you think, that it's all pretty, cut and dry, but it's not, because you got to think about, hip distance, leg distance. I mean, everybody has different lengths in their legs, different height in their torsos. So what's going to be comfortable, the rake of the back, as far as the curvature in the legs. So you have to just really kind of prototype things, build them, and then cut them and design them, and then go back to the drawing board and figure out how to make them perfect.
So is the rear lounger Miss Adrenaline approved?
It is Miss Adrenaline approved. One thing that people don't necessarily know about you is that you're an incredible innovator and designer and engineer. And we've been in the business for 25 years. We've raised our family in the business, and now the majority of our own children are working in our business, and they're experts in their field.
We have a lot of kids.
Yes.
We have five daughters. 5 daughters.
And they all have his amazing talent and work ethic. And one thing is, when we first started Adrenaline 25 years ago, the very first boat that you designed was a center console.
Right.
And so we were building center consoles before center consoles were even famous as being a center console. And
Well, we were building center consoles before they were popular for being a go fast center console. Our first boat was a 38-foot center console with triple 250s, and in those days, having triples was like wow factor. Now it's common, but back then it was like, holy crap, you got triples. My first boat was a triple 38-foot center console.
then it was there were outboard engines or IO engines, because we did both. We did IO version and an outboard version. And that was at the point where the outboard engines were still a little smoky. So I didn't like the fact that they were burning some oil when you would use it. So I said, you need to get us an IO version of a center console.
Yeah, funny story is one of our first trips to Miami. We started Adrenaline in Palm Beach County, and in that first boat, that first triple 250 outboard boat that we built, we came down to Biscayne Bay for one trip. I think we put in at Haulover. We came down through the Intercoastal. We went out to some big regatta that they had. And on the way back, we went through Stiltsville, and we got a little off course. Robin was actually driving the boat at the time, and I looked behind us and saw several, shall we say, skid marks through the sand. And I told her, I said, holy crap, don't let off the throttles, and turned to the left and got back into deeper water. But we had 3 of our kids on board at that time. They were all
In diapers.
5 years or under, and that was, 25 years ago. Would you have ever thought 25 years ago when I said, hey, I got this idea to start a boat company, and I'm trying to figure out what the name's going to be. Did you ever think we'd be here?
Never. It's pretty amazing how far we've come. You see, we have the cooler here with plenty of room for your champagne, wine, drinks, waters. It has a cold plate in here and cutting board. And we actually made a system in here to store your champagne and your wine glasses, champagne glasses down in.
Basically a holder for bigger bottles. Yeah, we have different inserts available depending on what your drink of choice is. But yeah, that works nice. You can hold up to 6 nice expensive bottles of champagne to celebrate your new Reaper.
And plenty of storage drawers down here. You have your storage drawer in the bottom for all your snacks, chips, anything you want to store. Big, huge drawer here. You have your nice big lighted logo, Adrenaline Powerboats logo.
Robin, what do you think about the new hardtop design?
I love it. I think we can now put in the JL audio that everybody wants.
Yeah, we got a lot of requests for that, and the other one was a little too shallow for the speaker bucket. So we've enhanced the already enhanced hardtop to accept the JL. This is the first one down the line with it. Doesn't look much different. We got rid of the subs overhead. They didn't seem to produce the sound we were looking for. We relocated them into the back of the boat. But we're all at Adrenaline. We're always trying to innovate, always trying to push the envelope. Yeah, if we don't get it, 10 out of 10 the first time, we'll go back to the drawing board. I mean, we only pulled 8 hardtops out of the mold, and that one's in the garbage. We got a new one. So.
Well, the most important feature, I think, for the new hardtop, which we've always had in all of our hardtops, is the nice rain shower.
Right.
Because when you get out of the salt water, you want to rinse off. So we put that back there. It's been there in previous models, but it's beautiful. It's seamless. Our hardtops are seamless. There's no cracking and creaking when you're running, and it's designed beautifully. Everybody likes to copy it.
Hey, Robin, what do you think of this color scheme?
I love this Tiffany blue and this
Tiffany blue?
Tiffany blue. So now that we can go to Tiffany's and buy some new jewelry, just match the Tiffany blue interior. And there's plenty of cup holders along with our forged carbon accents. This customer in particular couldn't get enough of the forged carbon accents, so we put as much as we could pack in here for him. And the beautiful lighting systems of our hardtops. One of the most beautiful things about the Reaper is how it looks at night. It all completely lights up and looks beautiful on the water.
One of the things that I don't think we've done a good job at communicating to the public is how much coverage our sunroof has. It has a very large footprint, and my wife, as someone who is very into beauty and skincare, can attest that this keeps the ladies out of the sun, keeps them cool, provides a lot of shade on the boat, and is a really nice feature that we'd like to highlight. Some of the other hardtops on the market are a little smaller. They require, retractable shades and things like that to get coverage. But this one gives you a big footprint of coverage, doesn't it?
You really have to intentionally go sit in the sun in this boat. We do have additional shading options if that's what is necessary for you and your family for a day out boating. But I personally like to go sit in the sun in certain spots on the Reapers. But like you said, there's plenty of sun coverage with this hardtop.
No big straw hat necessary?
Well, that is necessary for your laser when you do go out in the sun. But the one thing that's really great about the seating arrangement is you have plenty of room for, 6 to 8 of your closest friends if you want to sit that close to them. But most people do. There's lots of storage behind the seats for your sun bags, your purses, your hats, because as fast as our Reapers are, you want to put your hats away.
I take mine off every time we get on plane. I've lost quite a few hats and wallets.
Well, what's really cool too about this new is the ability for the new Garmin screens, because wasn't there an update to Garmin and all that jazz?
So that's the next boat, baby.
That's the next boat. Oh, okay.
That's the next boat, baby.
All right. We'll talk about the Garmin's.
We take a very minimalistic approach. 5 trim switches to individually trim the 5 engines on this particular Reaper. Standard Mercury controls, steering wheel, integrated bow and stern thruster joystick, and that's really it. This boat is one of the easiest boats that you will ever drive. We've had people get on these boats that have very little boating experience and very quickly become comfortable. Yes, it is a very fast boat. You do have to have experience to run at the high rates of speed and rough conditions, but as far as just learning how to dock such a big boat, it's very easy. We have taken a lot of the hard work out of driving a boat like this and made it easy with the way that you have the controls set up with the integrated stern and bow thruster and Mercury's control system for the engines. My entire design theory is less is more. If you look at some of our paint schemes, we don't have to put crazy graphics on the boat to make them look good. The boat looks good in a vanilla color. At the helm station, I feel like as a designer, let's not confuse what you don't have to confuse. The overhead buttons are multifunction, a lot of them. For instance, the headlight and spreader lights, if you touch them once, it turns all of them on. A second touch would turn the starboard. A third touch would turn the port, and a fourth touch would turn them off. So, another way of doing that is to put 3 different buttons, and you got to be searching for which one to hit. The wind's blowing, the current's ripping. So just really wanted to dumb down how to operate the boat. Just always been like that. As a 25-year veteran boat builder, designer, my whole design approach from the very first boat that I built was less is more. It's just kind of my style.
But let's talk about the one thing that's great about this is, some people are vertically challenged. So we have this step down that you can get up and have more visibility as you're driving. So that's nice and then, it's very comfortable when you're using it and you're going on, long distance, greater distance and voyage. So I feel like it's really, comfortable.
We also have a request from a couple of recent clients that want to see more of a divided bolster for your waist. So you'll be seeing that coming on some future builds. Guys that want max horsepower, max speed, they want to feel a little more snug. Some people want that, some people don't, so that'll obviously become an option for us. Probably not anything you'll have to pay for, it'll just be like a selection. When you buy an Adrenaline, you buy a premium boat. We don't nickel and dime our customers with
add-on
cup holders, LED lights. I mean, this is a very premium product. All of the features are expected, premium materials. Some options that we have are, actually a lot of options that we have are no extra charge, just comes down to preference.
A lot of storage options in our seats. You can store your things and put them away, your bags, your beach bags, your purses, your sunglasses, your hats, all the things that are gonna blow away on your super fast Reaper. And you can really see that the links. How would you describe
What the hell are you trying to say?
How would you describe
Ergonomics?
the ergonomics? Mike Layton nailed the ergonomics on this boat. You can really see the distance from the arms. Even for a smaller woman like me, I'm 5'6", he's 6'1". You can see the ergonomics of our builds.
I get asked all of the time, how does our boat ride compared to other people's boats? And to be completely frank, I have no idea because I don't drive other people's boats. I just drive ours. There's two data points that I can point to that tell me ours probably ride a lot better. Is one, when it's rough, we're usually at the dock first on a poker run or to the lunch stop. These boats perform very well in rough water. They give the driver a lot of confidence. It's a very dry riding boat. The sharp entry in the front with the flared bow really knocks the waves down, and the aggressively step bottom vented running surface that we have after the front of the boat splits the waves, it kind of cushions the ride as you're running over. We get a lot of we get a lot of people commenting that have done demos in these boats that the boat handles and rides superior to other brands. We have converted very elite clients out of other brands, and some of the commentary is, wow, this is just another league. This boat's in another league. They're almost speechless when they take them out in rough water. Our latest contract on a 47 Quint was here this morning looking at the new rear lounger feature that he's going to get in his build. Interestingly enough, we had another client here from Puerto Rico who has a very large popular brand boat, and the two of them got to talking, and the client who's next in line for a Reaper, a 47, he brought up the fact that he had 10 of the same brand boat that customer has, and he said, listen, it's just a different kind of boat. An Adrenaline's a different boat. He says it just is a bit more expensive, but it's in a league of its own. That was his way of describing his experience so far in an Adrenaline.
So when we sat down to design the cabin space, which was really hard, to be quite honest, it's a very difficult space to design, because in the 3D world, when you're designing the exterior of a boat, you're looking at the outside. When you're designing an interior space, you're trying to pan around the model and look at what you have. And mentally, for me, it was a very difficult space. I got a lot of input from Robin. I kind of slated the cabin as the place to make the ladies happy, the other half of the decision makers. I knew that we needed storage for the ladies, with certain things in the boat that the ladies would like. But I always thought that the cabin would be definitely a female space. So I got a lot of input from her. What were some of your sort of design criterias earlier on for the cabin?
Well, the biggest thing is it's AC cooled. So it's a nice, cool space, comfortable space. There's a lot of natural lighting and windows in the space. So you don't feel claustrophobic when you're down in the cabin because of all the natural lighting.
Yeah, that reminds me, not to cut you off, but that reminds me, her ideas were these side windows. Oh my God, that was a nightmare to design.
Yes.
Those things. They look easy sitting there, but it was quite challenging to design around those side glasses. A couple times I asked her if I could get rid of them.
And I said, absolutely not. We have to have the windows in the cabin. And I think there were times where we fought about it because you really wanted to get rid of it. And I said, absolutely not. We've got to have the windows in the cabin.
Us fighting?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that.
And then another important feature is their own separate head that has a closed door. That's something that we're keeping both in the 47 Reaper and the 42 Reaper. There's just a little bit of the capacity changes just a tiny bit in the 42 Reaper design, but they're all pretty similar. You still have the very large aft forward bed that's very comfortable. to lay on. You have counter space, cabinetry, storage under the seats, and then the separate head with an overhead rain shower right in the center so that you can shower off before you go to dinner if you're out staying on your boat, because a lot of people do like to sleep overnight in their boats. So those were things that were important to me. Plus, you want the ability to be able to close yourself in and feel comfortable closing your eyes at night, not worried about someone coming on your boat.
She also said it can't look like an RV.
No. And so he really did a great job designing it to look very sleek, very modern, kind of like a Miami penthouse apartment.
Small one.
Yes, very, very small, but a lot of design aesthetic in the cabin, very clean features and lines. Everything flows together. You notice in all of our designs,
Less is more.
less is more, and everything must flow together without seams, without joints, and you want it to all be, to function properly and not have any creaks when you're out running in rough water. One thing that's really amazing about the 47 Reaper is the design. You really feel the flow. That you have these step-up options for when you have a lot of people on your boat. There's not any, you don't get congested up here. There's a lot of flow and ergonomics. And then you do have, these really nice lounger areas. I did want to bring you guys up here on the 47 Reaper to show you this filler pad for the front lounger, so that everybody could come out here and hang out and lay out and enjoy the sunshine in Miami or wherever you choose to boat.
Really enhances the space, and you still can walk around, use the step ups. Just a great social space.
One thing that is really nice about the flooring system in these boats is it's easy on your feet and legs, because as you are boating and you're out in the water and you're rocking and moving around, it can really put a lot of fatigue on your legs. But the nice SeaDek, what is it?
Skater step.
The nice gator step it does offer some flexibility in the floor, so it does offer some cushioning for your feet and legs.
We tend to have a little higher freeboard than some of the other brands. People ask us why. Why is because the boat's designed to go in the ocean. This isn't a lake boat. This isn't a picnic boat. This is a real ocean-going boat. When you go into the ocean, maybe 2 footers when you leave, maybe 6 footers when you come back. This boat will go through 6 to 8 to 10 foot waves. Obviously, the rougher it is, the more careful you have to be, but the way that this boat is designed is it has a very sharp entry in the front for splitting the waves, has a very flared curved bow for deflecting the water, and a high freeboard for keeping you dry. When you get into the rough stuff, you're going to fall in love with the Reaper. After 25 years in the business and more than 15 unique boat designs, I've learned that no matter how good you are, you still need to take one of these machines out and do some proper shakedown runs to get all the little details 100% for the new client. Never assume, as good as you are at your craft, that you're going to hit perfection every time. These initial test runs that we do on the boat are very critical. They show us things that we can do better. They help us with the QC documents on our build schedule. They're a very valuable tool. That's why I personally try to get involved in as many of them as I can. Even after 25 years, it's still an important part of what we do at Adrenaline.